What's happening YouTube? PokePhD here, and welcome to a quick video on some of my purchases and investments over the past month. So we're midway through September now, so I thought it'd be a good time to recap all the things I purchased during August, and hopefully you kind of get some insight onto the things that I'm buying, whether that be for my personal store, for my website, or for things that I'm just interested in investing and collecting for myself. Yeah, I thought perhaps this video would be interesting to see. Maybe it'll be some insight, because of course I run a decently sized eBay store. I have my own website too, so I get a fair idea of how the markets generally are. That's mostly in graded and single cards, but you know, I kind of dabble in a lot of different things, so I hopefully you find this video interesting. So let's just kind of get straight into it. So I'm probably going to start a little bit more with the graded cards, most of them being kind of stuff that I'm planning to list on my store at some point. I have bought a couple of things just for myself, so just a couple of things I bought. Nothing too serious here. Obviously we've got this Pine Echo from Skyridge, another Skyridge card, and a couple of non-holo rares from Ruby and Sapphire, being the Swellow and the Mightyena. So I bought these cards mostly because I'm kind of a big fan of this era of cards. Not to say that these are like necessarily cards you should be picking up anytime soon, because it's not like they're rare or anything, but I really do like Swellow, like Mightyena, and I'm slowly moving towards collecting some of the more EX era and E-series era of cards. One of the bigger purchases was this Shining Steelix here, but I'm not planning on keeping this. I did have a few more Shining cards, but I've slowly been letting them go as of recently, so this is certainly up for sale. And one card that isn't up for sale is this Golem EX that I bought at a convention at the beginning of August. It may have actually been at the end of July, but you know, we'll give it we'll give it some leeway. As you can see there's a nice swirl here. I did also post this on Instagram, and I probably posted a short of this at some point as well onto YouTube. But yeah, this one I didn't get at the most amazing price or anything, but I'm planning on keeping this for a while. Again, you can't go wrong with the X cards. I feel like they have hit some amount of a floor as of recently. They didn't kind of shoot up to crazy multipliers compared to some of, maybe the older E-series and mostly Watts era cards. But I think, these are a reasonably good price. I paid around about $300 for this. Again, I'm sure you could perhaps pick it up cheaper, but I was happy to get it for that price. It's also in really good condition. Could take it out of the sleeve, but I think there's maybe one nick in this top corner here. Otherwise it's pretty good, in pretty good condition. So let me just quickly move these things to one side here. I might actually prop this up here just so you can kind of see it throughout the video. It's definitely not straight. Let me move this here, sorry. Yeah, as I mentioned, purchasing for myself and for the store, so a lot of that means I've got to invest a good amount of money to keep up inventory, because I like to keep my sales consistent throughout the year. If people are interested in seeing some breakdown of how I kind of manage things on the store side of things, and kind of manage that with working full-time, because I also work full-time as a data scientist too. So yeah, if there's any interest in that, feel free to leave a comment. It's certainly something I'd be happy to explore. I also picked up one of these. I'm sure you've seen that before. I actually picked up 2 of these, 3 of these, 4 of these, and yes, it does keep going. I have a lot more than 4. It is a pretty big stack of these promos. They're just so popular, they sell so well. I'm probably going to list all of these on my store as soon as possible. If not, I might put a post up on Instagram just to ask if people are interested in picking it up, because as I said, they sell so well. So that's one stack. This is another stack. I think there's roughly 25, maybe 30 of them in total. Picking them up from around about $20 to $25, and I mostly kind of sell in the UK, so with taxes and stuff like that, I'm hoping to get maybe around £40 for them by the end of it. So pretty big stack of Charizard cards. As I said, they'll sell quite quickly anyway, so I'm not so worried about them. On to something which is a little bit more cooler than one of the most common promo cards is some Topps Chrome packs I picked up. So this is series 2 of Chrome, so each one of these packs will contain obviously 8 cards, including one foil card too. And as you can see here, if I just zoom in, it's the special collector's edition. I can't recall exactly what that means, but there are specific, if it might be specific variants of the holos that are available, of the foil cards that are available. But I picked up a few of these as well, just because they're, you know, pretty nice. I've not put them up for sale. What I'm thinking, I was hoping at some point that I'd get some interest in these, but nothing of the sort at the moment. But I'm, you know, reasonably confident they'll do quite well. I also have continued just because they are so popular to pick up more VMAX Climax as well. I think I picked up another 100 loose packs of these. Again, another one that just sells really well, so I think I sell them for around about £7 on my store with a, you know, small discount if you purchase multiple. This is not all of them. I'm not going to pull them all out as well, because I've got enough on my desk with all of those graded Charizard cards as well. Onto some more single cards or random cards as well. I bought a bunch of these Pikachu promos. They were just so cheap I couldn't help myself. I think I picked up 60 of them, 50 or 60 of them, probably around about $1 each, if not less. They're still, you know, they're not relatively expensive. It's not like I picked them up for $1 and I can sell them immediately for $5. But I just thought that, you know, it's a nice card. It's a Pikachu, it's holographic, has a cool pattern too, and I'm probably going to hold on to them. I don't personally like selling anything for less than maybe like $5, just because I just don't think it's really worth my time doing so. So I'm going to keep a hold of these, see what happens. I'll probably maybe consider just selling them all together as bulk as well, and might make tidy few quid on those. Onto a lot. So I did, as I mentioned, having to keep the inventory up for my store means I've got to buy a lot of kind of modern full arts, modern trainers, Pokemon, secret rares, everything like that, just because those and graded cards are the majority of what I sell on my store. So when I'm not picking up those kind of cards to keep up my inventory, that's when I get the time to buy stuff like the Golem here for my own personal collection. So I'm gonna go. It's probably not going to spend too much time unless I see something interesting. I promise you, it's not all modern cards. There are some cooler cards in here, and I think there'll be, you know, quite a few ones to look at. The majority of these, again, if I've not listed already, will be listed at some point on my store. This does not really include all the single cards that I bought throughout the month for August, just because I would have, sometimes I get them in and I you know, if I've got the time and I'm not working, I will list them immediately. So I've probably put them somewhere in the store, in my kind of storage space, where I leave the cards before I pack them away after they've sold. So yeah, picking up a lot of more like kind of mid-tier full arts, alt arts at the moment, focusing more on those, and because I'm really stacked with some of the more cheaper cards, the more generic VMAXs. Picked up a few more Umbreons because I've got inundated with, you know, Sylveons and Espeons and so on, and they sell really well. Evolving Skies cards, you can't go wrong there. Some of the others I would have just picked up because they were really cheap, like the Zapdos here. Another one, that's the Leavanny reverse holo, Beedrill reverse holo from one, I can't recall which Diamond and Pearl set. Another, you know, Rayquaza full art, Altark Reedon, a nice full art Mew as well, full art Pikachu, and Celebi. If you're interested in seeing the kind of stuff I've got listed on my store, feel free to just it'll be in the description somewhere. Hopefully, if I do my job properly, and you can feel free to take a look at there. And obviously, stuff that I am interested in selling and I'm not listed, you can always feel. As I said, it's not going to all be boring modern stuff. I did pick up a few other cards, a couple of collections as well, so I have got some more interesting cards, like this Terrakion EX, for example. Let me just show this off a little bit better than what that was. So unfortunately, this was supposed to be near mint, but that is obviously not near mint, which is a little bit of a pain. So you know, either I would have graded it or sold it, but I don't like selling cards that aren't near mint. And when I say near mint on my store, I usually mean something that's really quite mint and very minimal amount of wear. So that's annoying. I'm gonna have to find something to do with that. Similar situation with this Volcanion here. Nice Blaziken VMAX. Personally think that's a little bit overpriced. Chilling Rain obviously is a set that I have championed before, and I think it's Blaziken is a pretty popular Pokemon. Shame about the Rainbow Rare, of course, and the Alta is pretty reasonably priced. The special delivery Charizard I made a video on a couple of weeks ago. Obviously Secret Rare Zapdos, Frostlass, Octillery, Electrode, the Fallout Pikachu, Fallout Gyarados, Vaporeon. Picked up a few of these Caitlyn's. I'm trying to get them quite a few of these. I personally think these are reasonably cheap. I think I was picking them up for $10, and I think that's great. It's probably a little bit more underrated compared to like a Marnie, for example, but even like the Fallout Marnie from is it from Brilliant Stars, I believe. Even that I still think is at a decent price, considering you can easily quite pick them up for like 20 quid. Not bad at all. That's not the cooler more vintage stuff, by the way. That is still yet to come. I also have made things a little bit more difficult for myself because a lot of the stuff I have already packed, ready to be graded. So a lot of them are in the card savers already, which is a little bit annoying. I picked up this. I think I paid $250 or $270 for this. I think won this on a PWCC auction. Obviously I paid a lot more than the last person, which is a bit of a pain. It's not in the best nick. It's not the strongest 10 is what I mean, but I'm going to keep this anyway because I'm just going to get the second piece and leave it as it is. I am a Darkrai fan, so that's not an issue for me there. On to some of those older cards. I think that'd be more interesting to see than endless amounts of modern Fallout trainers. So I can't recall the exact sets because there are also many of them, but you can kind of tell what era we're talking about. So that's just an uncommon Breloom. That's a shadowless Growlithe, reverse holo from Diamond and Pearl era, of course. Again, you saw this before. It was cheap, so I picked up as many as I could. I think they were like $1 or something, so I grabbed that. I was picking these up at like $1 or something as well. I know they're really cheap because the Pokemon Go is not the oldest set. It just came out recently, so there's the market's flooded with them. Same with the Greninja, but I can't see them staying at $1, $2 for long. I think maybe you're able to already get $4 or $5 for them on eBay, so that's really not too bad. So yeah, a lot of random cards. There's really no real organization here. Another shadowless, that's evolutions, reverse holo, Dustox. Here I bought a few binder pages of Topps cards. Nothing special here, to be honest. A little bit disappointing, to be honest. I thought they'd be in better condition than they actually turned out to be. An Altaria EX, and here's just a few. I think this isn't actually, didn't buy this recently, but it's in here for some reason. Picking up these Greninjas for like $1 or less. If I see it for that much, I'm just going to pick them up and put them away. Here are some of the more cooler cards, I guess. So these are all like Diamond and Pearl era holos. So if I can take this out so it's a little bit kind of clearer, you can see the kind of Cosmo foil here. Nice swirl there, actually. I didn't notice that before. That's a Shuckle holo as well. It's a little bit annoying, sorry, because of the sleeve. It would be a little bit easier to see without it. That's an Armaldo you can see there as well. Just a lovely swirl there too. Dialga holo. Sorry, that's Triumphant. That's Celebi. What number is that? 102. It's not the same, is it? Regigigas. That's a non-holo. Cyndaquil, Zubat, Scyther. Tauros holo. Really not doing too well here, am I? Reverse holo Roselia. Holographic Venusaur, reverse holo Dratini, Gliscor, Meganium, Pinsir, Metagross, and another Gliscor. Some more interesting cards. These are all kind of like near mint, excellent to near mint. That's why they're probably not going to get graded. I'll probably I have a like a kind of LP binder somewhere, so I usually will put them there, probably price them up and take them to a convention, or as I mentioned, I really don't bother spending the time listing lightly played cards on eBay too often, only if I have many of them, which is kind of easier to sell. So they'll go in a binder, and hopefully during one of the next conventions that I go to when I have a table, do something with them there. Onto a few more similar cards, I'm hoping, at least. Actually, no, these will definitely be more modern. So that's reverse holo. This is a cool Diamond and Pearl. These two holographic promos. Couldn't tell you for the life of me, you know, what kind of box, tin, whatever they came in. But it's nice to see, you know, I like Weasel. I used him in whenever I play Diamond, so that's a nice Pokemon there. Picked up these Venusaurs for celebrations, of course, and then I also picked up some Pokemon Go cards, a few stamped promos. The Evolving Skies, anything kind of related to Evolving Skies I'm picking up, especially if they're at good price. That's probably more of the modern stuff. That's holographic Groudon, Nidoqueen, and then just a few secret rares, another full art, Cargo, Gardenia, Corviknight, and a Altar Tornadus V. These will probably all get listed apart from the first two on the store at some point, which will be fantastic. So I have a couple of piles which are stuff that I've put in. As I mentioned, I put some cards already in card savers because they are certainly going to be graded. But here's some more modern cards, a few promos, a few secret rares, just stuff I could find at a good price, and or bought in bulk as part of a collection. So that's some more stuff. Again, will be listed at some point. And then onto some stuff that I'm planning on grading. So this is the less boring pile, more boring pile even. This is mostly non-holos, I believe. Kind of waiting for lower tier grading options. I'm not really going to send these off at whatever bulk is now. I think $18 just came out recently, so I'm probably going to wait till something like around about 12 to send them off. They are in pretty good nick. I'd only send them if they were going to get 10s. I'm not planning on getting 9s. Obviously they're non-holo, so there are no issues with kind of like with the surface of the holo. Usually with non-holo cards, that's why they grade a little bit easier. And these are just part of a non-holo collection binder that I bought, which I might show you in a second. So these are some of the more mintier ones. Again, no plans to send them out anytime soon. I'm probably just going to put them away, and as soon as they're like, oh, $12 is available, they'll go out. Nothing, as I said, nothing majorly interesting there. I actually missed out this one. Another Celebi. And then on to some of the more interesting cards that I bought for grading. Most of these will be 9s and 10s, I'm hoping, unless I'm blind and I've made some mistakes there. But I certainly think these are some cards that are worth picking up. No guarantees or anything like that. And I'm just being pretty frank to say that I'm picking up some of these cards myself. And that's why I would recommend it. So this Full Art Lily from Sun and Moon. Japanese, I think that's Remix Bout. Those are, I think, the two modern cards in here. And then I've got a lot of kind of Diamond and Pearl EX era holos. So, you know, if a lot of these come back in 10s, that's, you know, it's a lot of low pop, not very common cards. So, you know, I'd be delighted if that was the case. You can see the nice holo swirl there. Team Aqua's Manectric, Sharpedo, a couple of non-holo Scythers. I'm already sending those for myself just because I do like to collect Scythers. Gardevoir, Milotic. If this gets to 10, I will be absolutely delighted. But I think that's more kind of verging on 9. Blaziken, A couple of Rapidashes, a Lucario, that's Call of Legends, I believe. Again, that's another Triumphant. Dialga, Platinum, Palkia. If again, gonna get some of the set names wrong, so you know, slaughter me if you want in the comments. But I'm not keeping an eye on anything. As soon as I receive these, I put them in the card savers and put them away. So I haven't really done, I guess, a better amount of due diligence to recall the set. So that's Delta Species, Ludicolo, another Scyther for some reason in the middle of nowhere, and Delcatty, and then this as well. I think I have the Tornadus already, so I'm hoping this gets 10. It's in pretty decent condition. I would take it out, but I don't really want to mess with them anymore. So probably leave that there. Hoping to send off a submission again pretty soon at $18. I was sending with the UK middleman beforehand, but I'm also just tempted to go directly through PSA because it will be a lot faster and probably you know, faster turnaround and probably a better experience. Just checking if I've missed anything. I don't believe so. Here's actually the binder that I bought, kind of non-holo binder that I bought. A bit few too many cards probably to show off properly, but you can see roughly here. Take this properly. How many pages? It was obviously part of a binder, but I removed them, and a lot of removed them just because obviously it was one of those older binders that damaged cards. So sorry, I can't really show this off that much better. But yeah, it's quite a few pages of cards, and basically most What's era sets, and you know, in a few of them there are a few different cards. Lots of multiples, and the reason why I picked this thing up was because the whole binder was because they were just in really good condition. I wouldn't say it was necessarily cheap. I didn't like pay any bulk prices for it, even though it was like 400, 500, 600 cards. I think I paid roughly like $250, so it would have, I think there were 700 cards or something, a bit of kind of guesstimating. So you know, still like 25 cents per card, so it's not like I was paying a bulk price, as I mentioned. So but you know, I was happy considering the condition that they another few cards. Again, I'm not sure what I'm doing with these. I think these are also going to get graded. Yeah, I think I showed these off in a previous video. It's just because I was away and I actually didn't get the chance to send them off, but I'm happy to send these off at $20 just because they're pretty much guaranteed 10s, so I'm hoping I've not made a mistake there. And when you guarantee 10s, I think it's just worth sending off. You can obviously make a mistake, but you know, you send off in bulk and you maybe 1, 5, 10% of mistakes, it's still worth your while. And the difference between, you know, if I get this Moltres for like $10 to $15, for example, grade it for 20. In a 10 it's going to get maybe 70, and it's good just for me to have lots of things for my store, of course, so I don't mind doing that, even if it might not be insane margins that which a lot of people like. You know, like 10 folding on graded cards, and the difference between paying £20 and $20, sorry, and $10 for grading is just the difference between me getting like 70 for it and 60 instead of 60, and it's the difference between $20 and $30 profit, and you know, of course it adds up. But I think kind of time investment as well, it just means I can get that money back, or I can kind of keep it myself, whatever I want to do. Get that, and if I do get that money back, I can kind of throw it back into rotation and do more work with it as well. So I'd much prefer kind of getting things out and getting things done in and out quite quickly. That's kind of my motto with a lot of my purchases. So that's the majority of the stuff I bought. Just a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh items as well. So I bought a couple of boxes of the same set in Legacy of Darkness. So I bought the 24 pack box here, obviously all pretty sealed. You can see the IPC number. Legacy of Darkness is obviously not one of the most popular original sets, but you know, on the way to collecting all sets, is everything's got to be done. And what I do like about Legacy of Darkness is it comes with the old 36 pack box as well, which a little bit the thick boys, definitely, especially compared to the 24s. You can, if I can kind of show a better comparison with how thick they are. Of course, having more packs, so it's a nice variant that I like. I think in the 36 you can only get the secret rare Infection Fairy Lily, and in the regular 24 pack box you can get the secret rare Yatagarasu. So this one's a little bit more sought after, I guess, for that reason, but not nice nonetheless. Goes with my other original Yu-Gi-Oh boxes. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't know the exact total, and this really doesn't include everything. I usually do spend just on my store, I will spend maybe $4,000 or $5,000 to keep inventory up and keep things moving. So maybe it didn't total everything here, and again, first time kind of doing this, so hopefully if there's interest in this kind of video, I'll do it a bit maybe a bit better next time. Maybe kind of I can log it a little bit, account it better next time, so it's a little bit more numerical, and you know, stuff I like to do anyway as kind of part of my profession. So you know, I'd be happy to do that. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and if you're still watching, please leave a like, subscribe, and yeah, just let me know of what you think of some of the stuff I bought. I kind of give a little bit of insight into the stuff that I'm selling, and I like to pick up generally for myself. So I hope you found it interesting, and check you later.